So hello everyone. Thanks for folks who will be watching this session. This is the webinar series hosted by the team at 12 Ops, called Multimodal Weekly. And we've been meeting on a weekly basis over the past 2+ years. So as the name suggests, we have a lot of focus on multimodal research, specifically with researchers from academia come and give talks on, they work on the domain of multimodal AI foundation models. Oftentimes we have some of our partners, engineers, startup founders come and give talk about different application of multimodal in various verticals. And because our company focuses a lot on video understanding, I think there's folks who give talks on the different video applications they build with our technology as well. Here is just some sample of the recent projects that we host in the recent weeks. So there are talks around world models to video generation to test time scaling in LLMs, etc. So for today's session, we have 3 speakers, still very exciting speakers. First one is Bencheng Liao, who currently a PhD student from Huazhong University of Science and Technology. He will present his work called Multimodal Mamba, which is the first decoder-only multimodal state space model achieved through quadratic to linear distillation using moderate academic computing resources. Unlike existing linear complexity encoder-based multimodal LLMs, multimodal Mamba eliminates the need for separate vision encoders and underperforming, pre-trained RNN-based LLMs. The second speaker that we have is called Chen, who come from University of Hong Kong, and she will present her work called SIDbench R1, which is a benchmark designed to systematically evaluate post-training methods for multiple LLMs in video understanding. It includes intricate real-world videos and complex everyday planning tasks in the format of multiple choice question, requiring sophisticated perception reasoning. And finally, we have Xiangpeng, who calling from University of Technology in Sydney. He will present his work called VideoGrain, which is a zero-shot approach that modulates space-time attention mechanism to achieve fine-grained control over video content. Yeah, so that's a brief highlight about the speakers today. And we'll have a Q&A session if there's question at all from the audience. But I will stop sharing my screen and I will let Bencheng go ahead and start his presentation.
Okay. Thanks for having me. And let me share my. Oh, I needed to reopen my Zoom to share my desktop.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. So let's hang on for a little bit for you to rejoin.
I just reload my. Oh, sorry. I just reload my Zoom to share my desktop. Okay. Let me start. Thanks for having me. And hello, everyone. I'm a PhD student supervised by Professor Xinggang Wang at Huazhong University of Science and Technology. It's a great honor to have the opportunity to be here to share our latest works, Multimodal Mamba, a decoder-only multimodal state space models with quadratic to linear distillation. Before we dive into the specific of our works, let me briefly to touch the current landscape of the multimodal language models. As you can see in this slide, multimodal large language models have primarily evolved around two architecture paradigms and about the encoder-based vision language models and the decoder-only vision language models. And for this encoder-based VLM, there has a typical recipes including language pre-training and then vision language alignment for the connector and the vision encoder and finally the vision language supervised fine-tuning. And in that recipes, we need to uh, we need to we need millions and billions of samples and a lot of training steps for build a SOTA architecture for the vision language applications. And in our work, multimodal members, we propose a new paradigm that we do not need to build a new arc from scratch. Instead, we can distill from a well-established quadratic transformer-based architecture without need of training from scratch. And we only to train the attention-related parameters, making the training cost acceptable for the individual researchers and labs. And the third advantage is that we can achieve competitive performance against the transformer-based teacher VLMs. And in that context, why we choose the decoder-only architecture? The primary reason is that the unified causal modeling makes the models fast to train and deploy. We can do not rely on the heuristic, do not relies on the the vision encoder. And in this slide, we shows how can we cut Mamba 2 from the transformers. As we can see in the right side, the transformer need to first to project query key and value, and then apply softmax on the query and key, and finally must mail with the value. And in Mamba 2, uh, we just derive the hidden state S from the key value pairs, and finally use the query to multiply with the hidden state. We can derive the final output. So you can see the query key values projection can directly inherit from the train transformers. We only need to take care of the extra modules like causal convolution and the gatings alphas and the W gamma and W gatings to we only need to take care of these extra modules. And in our works, we carefully initialize it to make it do not do not have influence on the initial output. Make the whole member 2 forward is just like the attention output. It means that we just make the W gate to init, like we can output the gating as one, which means that we do not decay along the whole sequence. And so after we have derived our initial multimodal members model from the pre-trained transformer using the seeding strategy, as we discussed in the last slide. The next critical phase is to refine its capabilities and ensure it can effectively capture the knowledge of its teacher. For this, we design a progressive distillation pipeline, which consists of three distinct stages. In the first stage, it's important to make the component that like the initial we want to highlight that it's important to make the patch embedding and text embedding and the MLP layers just fixed, makes the parameter do not update in our distillation stage. And the stage one is just distill the newly introduced state space model specific parameters. The main goal here is to train the newly introduced SSM specific parameter within the Mamba 2 layer. Make the layer wise manner is just like the attention part. To ensure the alignment, we applied MACE loss between the output logic of each layers. In the stage 2, we just distill the whole layers. It means that we also train the query key and the value projection parameters, make the Mamba 2 layers more training parameters to make the behaviors just like the layer-wise attention from the teacher models. And finally, in the stage 3, we just distill the model from the teacher transformer-based VLM in end-to-end manner. Means that we just apply the KL loss between the final output logics between that two models. And through through this sequential distillation, we can derive the competitive performance against the teacher's transformer-based VLMs at the 2.7 billion parameters. As you can see in the figure B, that our mmMamba linear models successfully achieves competitive performance when compared with existing linear and even quadratic complexity VLMs like mobile VLM and EVE in 2 times fewer parameters. And when we keep some transformer layer, when we keep some transformer layer and transform most transformer into Mamba 2, we derive our hybrid variants. That mmMamba hybrid can push the performance even further. It generally surpasses other linear and quadratic models across all the benchmarks show above, and importantly, significantly narrows the performance gap to our powerful but more computationally intensive teacher model, HOVLE. And for the efficiency parts, as you can see in the speed comparison graphs in Figure C, that we can when we process the context length, which uh, 100,000 tokens, we can run 20.6 times faster and for our mmMamba linear architecture. And for our hybrid variants, mmMamba hybrid, we can derive 13.5 times speed up. And for the memory, we can see that our mmMamba linear can save 75.8% GPU memories, and our mmMamba hybrid can save 16.2% GPU memory. And for the training comparison, as you can see, our mmMamba only trains the 14.7% of the whole of the whole parameters, making our training very fast and efficient. And we do not include the pre-training and alignment stage. We just only applies distillation stage. We can train our mmMamba in just 8 in NVIDIA 800 to develop our models. The inference efficiency comparison under the short fixed decode length, we can see that our mmMamba derives a much better speed than the previous VLM like mobile VLM and the HOVLE, and even compare with the lava files, we can derive 5 times faster. Yes. And for in this slide, we want to highlight that due to the the fixed size hidden states of Mamba 2, we can use the CUDA graph trick to make our mmMamba in the inference time really fast. And for the ablation part, we want to first to highlight in our table 3s. These tables demonstrates the importance of our progressive three-stage distillation pipeline. And we can see that if we gradually add the distillation stage, we can reach the highest performance in our ablations. And for the parameter initialization, as we discussed in the previous slides, that we need to inherit the query key value projection from the teacher model to keep the to make it more capable to recover the capability of teacher models. And we also need to make the gating part in Mamba 2 at the init stage. It's just like 1 to make the gate do not decay the earlier information, make it behave more like transformer. And for the hybrid variants, we discuss the how many transformer layers add into our architecture can increase the performance. As you can see, we to make a better trade-off between efficiency and the performance, we choose to add 8 transformer layers in our mmMamba hybrid model. And for the hybrid strategy, we also discuss if we make the transformer layer in the tails, in the head, and the interleave in the tails and the interleave in the head. We show that the head interleave strategy achieves the best performance. And in this slide, we just to show the case study of our distillation stage. Starting with no distill, it means that we just directly inherit the parameter from the transformer. As you can clearly see that the output is essentially random characters and incoherent, what we describe in the figures. This study illustrates that simply initialize the Mamba architecture by inhibiting the weights isn't sufficient for meaningful multimodal understanding. After stage 1 of our distillations, the output might be a hint of structure, and the model is clearly struggling to form a coherent description. And moving to the stage 1 plus stage 2, we can see that the mmMamba absorb a significant improvement. The model now generates settings of a much more coherent and relevant description. And finally, if we complete the 3-stage distillation pipelines, the output is grammarly correct and detailed and enrich in details, like the teacher models, like the transformer-based teacher model HOVOE. And in the supplementary, we also provide more ablations about our designs. In the table A, we show that if we ablate the distilling stage by controlling the training samples, and in the previous table 3, we ablated by adding the training stage, but during the ablations, as you can see, we gradually add the train sample, and in this table A, we just control all the sample to clearly see the effectiveness of our 3-stage distillation. As you can see in the tables, our 3-stage is very important to achieve the final high performance. By only use stage 2 or stage 3 cannot compete with our 3-stage distillation. And then as you can see, and the training sample also has some redundancy. If we have the training sample with our three-stage distillation, we can also achieve comparable performance. And in table C, we also ablate the introduce extra modules in the Mamba tool, like console count and output gate. As you can see in the table C, that the extra modules also contributes a lot to the final performance. In the above ablations and experiments, we show that a three-stage to build a decoder-only architecture, and how is our recipes in the encoder-based, the current state-of-art vision language model like Chen Q1 2.5. Like in this table, we show that we can also achieve comparable performance against Q1 2.5 VL, and even in the matrix of POP, we achieve a better performance. And thank you very much for your time and attentions. And for those who are interested in our project, you can refer to our GitHub code. We have open source all the training recipe and the model weights in our repos.
So thanks a lot, Bencheng, for walking over the presentation of the talk. I think I remember that you also co-authored the Vision Mamba, right, last year.
Yeah. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I think one of the co-author that also came to webinar and give a talk. So I think that's why I remember seeing your name in some of the famous work around Mamba and multimodal. Awesome. I think due to time constraint, we'll not have time for Q&A. So let's move on to the next speakers. Yeah. So G, do my go ahead and start your presentation. And Bencheng, can you stop sharing so that she can? Yeah. Go ahead.
So can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Chen, and I'm currently a first-year PhD student from the University of Hong Kong. It's a privilege to share our work in this webinar. Now I will introduce our recent work from rigorous evaluation to consistency-aware post-training, Bench R1 and GRPO-CARE for multimodal reasoning. Our work is motivated by recent advancements in the reasoning capabilities of large language models. We know that reinforcement learning algorithms such as outcome-supervised GRPO have emerged as a powerful post-training approach to advance LLMs in generating long chain of thoughts and ultimately excels at solving a wide range of complex problems. Meanwhile, multimodal large language models extend LLMs by integrating modules for processing multimodal inputs. They naturally inherit the strong reasoning potential of LLMs. However, the adaptation of RL-like post-training methods for MLLMs remains underexplored, both in terms of evaluation and methodological approaches. In this work, we first introduced a rigorous benchmark, Bench R1, to evaluate post-training methods through a three-level hierarchical evaluation. And also, the questions from our benchmark requires the model to combine balanced reasoning and perception capabilities to solve the real-world problems. Based on this benchmark, we conduct a pilot study with representative post-training methods such as GRPO and identify key limitations of this approach. To this end, we propose a novel RNN framework, GRPO-CARE. It introduces an adaptive group relative consistency bonus to encourage the model to produce responses that does not only contain correct final answers, but also consistency reasoning process. And our approach not only improves the overall performance across all three difficulty levels, but also improves the model's reasoning consistency. First, I will introduce our benchmark, SIDbench R1. Though RL-like post-training methods for MLLMs have attracted increasing attention from the research community, existing evaluations tend to focus narrowly on either perception-intensive tasks such as object detection and grounding, or reasoning-intensive tasks such as multimodal math problem solving. Though some works conduct evaluations on a wide range of benchmarks, they often rely on broad general domain training datasets, but do not consider structured generalization assessment. Therefore, we propose to use SIDbench R1 as an ideal testbed for MLLM post-training. As shown in this figure, our questions require the model to understand open-form task goals, to track long-horizon task progress, perceive intricate real-time environmental state, and use its inherent world knowledge to reason about the appropriate next action to take to achieve the overall task goal. We provide both a large-scale training data as well as hierarchical validation data sets. Crucially, our validation data are divided into a three-level hierarchy. Specifically, the level 1 questions represent in-distribution scenarios. The questions are created using the same video source Epic Kitchens as the training data. The task goals are related to everyday household planning activities, and the visual inputs are captured from daily life kitchen environments. Both the task goals and visual inputs share overlaps with the training data. In level 2 evaluation, we also focus on similar daily life planning tasks, but the visual observations are captured from a distinct video source, Eagle4D. In level 3, it represents the most challenging scenario. Here, the task goals cover a wider range of domains, such as hobbies, recreation, work, in addition to the daily life. Additionally, the visual environments comes from a wider range of unseen indoor and outdoor scenes. Here are the detailed statistics of our benchmark. Now, using SIDbench R1, we conduct a pilot study with representative post-training methods, such as supervised fine-tuning and reinforcement learning. For supervised fine-tuning, we augment the training data with additional chain of thought annotations through distillation from powerful multimodal large language models via rejection sampling. For reinforcement learning, we adopt GRPO as a representative algorithm. It uses outcome supervision with rule-based rewards and eliminates the need for explicit chain of thought annotations. As shown in this figure, given a question, GRPO requires the online model to generate a group of responses where each response consists of both a reasoning trace and a final answer. Then it will use a rule-based reward model to assign a reward to each sample, indicating the correctness of the final answer. The rewards are normalized to compute the advantages for updating the online model's parameters through policy gradient. GRPO also utilizes a reference model to regularize the online model from distributional shifting. This is achieved via an explicit KL penalty term. Through evaluation on our benchmark, we see that GRPO significantly outperforms supervised fine-tuning across all three difficulty levels. Despite this superiority, we also identify key limitations of current application of GRPO. We find that while it improves answer accuracy compared with supervised fine-tuning through attending more effectively to key visual observations, it often compromises logical consistency between the reasoning and final answers. Though it sometimes can still also provide the correct answer, this might undermine the decision transparency and the potential performance ceiling of the model. As shown in this example, the question asks the next action to taken in order to play golf. The GRPO training model suggests moving the ball to the golf tee in the next step, but it ultimately answers with another option indicating hitting ball with club. Upon reflection on the original optimization objective of GRPO, we identify two key limitations. Firstly, GRPO optimizes the model primarily based on the final answer rewards. This might create a shortcut. That is, the model might prioritize answer correctness over maintaining logical coherence in reasoning steps. Additionally, the strict KL divergence penalties excessively constrain the model's exploration space. This will prevent the model from adaptively adjust the reasoning path to follow the causal relationships with final answer, and this will further amplify the logical inconsistencies. To this end, we propose GRPO-CARE to jointly optimize the model for both answer correctness and reasoning coherence without requiring for explicit process supervision. We remove the KL penalty term and instead introduce a two-tiered reward system, including a base reward for answer correctness as the vanilla GRPO and an adaptive consistency bonus derived from a slowly evolving reference model through likelihood calibration. This dual mechanism amplifies rewards for reasoning paths that are both correct and logically consistent. Next, I will introduce the detailed process of our approach. First, given a question, the online model generates a group of responses, just like what the GRPO done. Each response consists of a reasoning trace and the final answer, and we will assign each sample with a base reward indicating the answer correctness. For calculating the consistency bonus, we keep only the samples that achieves relatively higher accuracy rewards and feed them into a reference model. The reference model takes the multimodal question inputs as the online model, and it also takes the reasoning traces generated by the online model. Then we derive the likelihood that the reference model generates the same answer as the online model given the same context. The key insight is that a stable reference model, when conditioned on the online model's reasoning trace, should assign a higher likelihood to correct answers when the reasoning trace is logically grounded in the multimodal context. Based on the reference model's likelihood, we select the subset that achieves relatively higher consistency likelihood compared with their group peers. And we will assign the subset of samples with a sparse consistency bonus. The bonus will be added to the base reward to obtain the final reward. The total rewards will be normalized and to calculate the advantages for updating the online model. The updating process uses the same training objective as the standard GRPO, except that we remove the CARE divergence penalty. Additionally, the reference model is updated through an exponential moving average of the online model's parameters. In this way, we allow the reference model to gradually inherit the reasoning and the improved reasoning and perception abilities of the online model while maintaining stability against noisy samples. Through evaluation on Citybench R1, we demonstrate that our approach outperforms GRPO by a significant margin, and it is noticeable that our approach achieves a significant improvement on the most challenging level 3 evaluation, particularly in domains like hobbies and work, which exhibit substantial distributional divergence from the training data. We also compare with a variety of baselines that like the CARE-oriented baselines, which modify applications of CARE constraints, and also the reward-based alternatives, which consider using different consistency-aware rewards. Overall, our model achieves the best performance on the 3-level evaluation dataset, and also it achieves a relatively higher consistency rate compared with the baselines. To further validate the effectiveness of our approach, we also conduct evaluation on a wider range of general video understanding benchmarks. Firstly, the model trained using GRPO-CARE based on our Citybench R1's training data significantly outperforms the base model across a wide range of benchmarks. This validates the effectiveness of both our data and our approach. Further, we follow video R1 to train our model on general domain data using GRPO, and we see that our model achieves competitive or even superior performance compared with video R1. This is particularly remarkable given that video R1 is trained using additional data through supervised fine-tuning, and it also utilizes explicit temporal order grounding through GRPO rewards. In conclusion, in this work, we first introduced Citybench R1, a novel benchmark that balances perception and reasoning. with a rigorous hierarchical generalization evaluation for multimodal video understanding. Based on this benchmark, we conduct a systematic experimental analysis of representative post-training methods for MLLMs, and we review the limitations of current outcome-supervised reinforcement learning, such as GRPO, in maintaining logical coherence. To this end, we propose GRPO-CARE, a novel RLM framework with an adaptive, consistency-aware reward. It significantly improves reasoning coherence and overall performance without explicit process supervision. Here are the QR codes and for the GitHub repository and our technical report of Seedbench R1. The code and paper for GRPO-CARE will be released soon. Thank you.
Great. Thanks a lot, Shenji, for looking over the details of the benchmarking process. These very valuable resources for folks working on multimodal video understanding, right? To evaluate both of the source, but also I think also again this new benchmark. And I think like the utilization of like reinforcement learning in multimodal understanding is like something that is very exciting that the academic research is moving towards. So very glad to see this work like adopting some of this approach early on, and I'm sure like industry will catch up soon enough. Perfect. So I think we have about 15 minutes left for the webinar. So let's get the last speaker on stage. So yeah, Xiangpeng, do you want to just share your screen and talk about video editing? Oh, you muted, by the way. You still muted. You did unmute to be here.
Oh, sorry. So can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. So, today I want to talk our
One
maybe.
sec. We are seeing your slideshow notes.
What?
Your slide. Oh, okay. Now it's good.
Okay, now it's good.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, today I just give a short and brief talk.
Mode.
You're in speaker mode, so you can see your slides.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay. Yeah. You still can see it. So I just. You can see the screen.
I can see like your presenter notes.
Oh, okay.
Is there an option to see only the current slide?
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Okay.
now it's good. Yeah, that would just
Now it's good. Okay, so
yes, yeah, great.
today I just gave a short brief talk of our actually work with VideoGrain. It is about video editing. So I give a short brief introduction. I'm Xiangpeng from University of Technology Sydney, and I'm advised by Professor Yang at Zhejiang University. I'm a member of Rare Lab. Yeah. So I just gave a short introduction of the background knowledge, like diffusion model. As you can see, we can get an image from a noise space by the forward process and read back the clean image to a noise using a reverse process. This is what we normalize say like diffusion models. So usually in video editing or video generation, we will manipulate the video content using a text prompt like this: Spider-Man is skinning on the beach, cartoon style. And how it works is just the text prompt interact with the video latents in the course taking process. So with the video based model development like Sora, like currently one, we can do various of video editing like style editing, like object editing. We can change the GIF card to the posture. We can also do motion transfer, also like motion editing, like drag the man's head. And we can also do something like object inserting or impacting using some bounding box control. Okay, so here's some just give a quick review of previous work like token flow. How it adds the video. It is a keyframe based video editing methods. So it just add a few keyframes and propagating the features using the nearest neighborhood field in the diffusion model to achieve consistent frame propagation. And it can only do something like style editing. Yeah. So video diffusion models can also do something like shape editing, like change the GIF card to the Lamborghini or the different shapes GIF cards. So this work is video swap, and it just leveraging the consistency of semantic points in the diffusion models. Like we just track several points in GIF cards and transfer the semantic consistency points to the edited results, so it can achieve some shape editing. So continually, also, there is also some work like video. They can change the video content and achieve some very consistency control, like edit the man to a joker and shake his head, and also like the clean video background. They can add some like add a tank. So okay, this is previous work due in the video editing field, but what VideoGrain do? Like check out video. Yeah. So this is just a demo video. You can check it. We just introduced a new task called Multigrain editing. This is class editing human class to Spider-Man class. And at each instance, like left man to Spider-Man and right man to polar bear. Also, we can also add sunglasses to the Spider-Man. Yeah. Here is the instance results of our VideoGrain. We can separate at the left card and right card to a samoyed and a tiger, also panda and monkeys like this. Yeah. So okay, continually we show some high-level results, like add the Superman and add a hat to Superman, or add sunglasses one entity the man to Superman. Also, one edited the man to Sir, we can edit the gloves and the sunglasses. This is a class level results. So, okay, just a brief show. So continually, I just detailedly introduce our VideoGrain task definition. For VideoGrain, we defined multi-grain video editing. It is composed by 3 types of video editing. The first is class level, like we are editing objects within the same class, like human class. But for instance level, like there's 2 cards. We want to separate a left card and right card. So like at the left to samoyed, right to tiger, this is instance level editing. And for part level editing, we reference applying part level edit to specific elements of individual instance, like add a hat to the man, or edit the man to the Superman, or just change the part level clothes, like change the t-shirt to blue, or change the t-shirt to a suit. But the grain level is goes to be denser and denser. So one of our previous method performance on our multi-grain video editing task, you can see the results here. Here is our VideoGrain. The first row is VideoGrain results, and the second row is previous SOTA results, like token flow, ground video, diffusion model transfer, or the industrial SOTA like picker. They all field at instance level, like at the left man to the Spider-Man, right man to the polar bear, but our VideoGrain can edit more in a fine grain level. Actually, in the class level, we can add the human class to the Spider-Man class. So the both left man and right man belong to human class. Yeah. And for instance level, I already said it. And for bar level, we can add sunglasses one at the right man to the polar bear. Yeah. So what is the results make previous method failed at instance level, like Pika, like diffusion transfer? We conclude the reason for like two reasons. Cause this phenomenon. The first reason is that the feature coupling, like you can see in the figure B, the diffusion model cannot distinguish between left and right instance. So we just use k-means to cluster the dynamic inverting self-attention feature in the diffusion models. And we can see that when the segment is 3, it cannot distinguish between left and right. But if the segment grow larger, like go to 4, it still cannot distinguish between left and right. So which means that there's a kind of feature coupling in the diffusion model, like in the self-attention layer. Also in the coarse attention layer, the coarse attention controls the how the video latents follow text prompt. We visualize the coarse attention weight in the coarse attention layer, and you can see the RNN's coarse attention weight overlap with Spider-Man, so it make only the left man part level edit, like only edit the top body. So since the attention weights only distribute in the top body. Also, there's some cherry blossoms weight leak onto right man, so resulting some kind of attention leakage. So the curious is that there is a kind of feature coupling in the self-attention model. Also, the text-to-region control is not accurate in the cross-attention layer. I will grant just to solve these two problems. Yeah. Here is our overall pipeline. We achieve the two goals in a unified increase positive pair and decrease negative pair manner. Like you can see in the cross-attention layer, we will each local prompt like Spider-Man, like polar bear, and its location as positive pairs, and the prompt like Spider-Man with outside left man's right regions as the negative pairs. So in this way we can modulate the cross-attention value and achieve only the Spider-Man's weight in the left man, a polar bear in the right man. Also, there's we enhance the positive awareness within the intra regions in the self-attention layer and restrict negative interactions between inter-region in the self-attention layer to keep the feature separation. I will detail introduce the text origin control and keep feature separation in the next PowerPoint. As you can see, commonly we just compute the attention like query multiply k transpose, and here we just modulate the query k conditional map, and we increase the positive modulator value with the regularizing map, and decrease the negative value with outside the query k conditional map. Like in the cross-attention layer, you can see we just view like Spider-Man and the left man regions as positive pair. We increase this positive value and decrease the Spider-Man's with outside left man's region as negative pairs value, and we increase positive value and decrease negative value. In this way, we can achieve that previous, like you can see, the previous attention weight distribution is random, and the Spider-Man and polar bear is very random. And after this kind of cross-attention modulation, we can make Spider-Man's weight only on the left man, and polar bear's weight only on the right man. Also, in the self-attention layer, as you can see, we can in diffusion model, actually we can localize the positive pair correlation and negative pair correlation. Like we compute these points cross frame similarity to a next frame, and we can localize different frames but same human like art position. the negative position is localized like in the ground. However, in the multi-instance scenario, the problem become different. Since when we compute like the leftmost nodes, you can see both left man and right man have response since they are the human classes. However, here we just since we have the left man's layout and right man's layouts like masks, we can only restrict that the P like the P only attend to left man. So in this kind of increase the positive pair awareness like only to left man and restrict negative awareness to like the left to the right man or to the ground, we can achieve that. Previous you can see P attend to both left man and right man before the self-tension modulation, and after this kind of modulation, we can ensure that the P only attend to the left man. So in this way, we can keep feature separation. And you can see this is a solely edit. This is a qualitative results of our VideoGrain. The first row shows that we can solely edit left man and solely edit right man and join edit. We can also separate at a left monkey to the teddy and right monkey to the like golden retrieval, and we can also work on the instance level like human instance like play badminton, also like the pushing cars, also like riding bikers. We can also work at the part level like adding new object, like editing the man to Superman. We can add some classes to Superman. Also, we can change the only cat's a hard color to ginger, like the cat. But also, we can just alter the body color of the cat, but not alter the belt color. We keep the belt same. This qualitative result shows that our work can work at class level, or the solely edit and the instance level and part level. So continually, I just show an comparison with the SOTA methods. The first is a part level, and we want to add the man to SOA and add the gloves to change two part levels attribute, like change the gloves to red and add the SOA sunglasses. Our work is work, but previous method only can alter the sunglasses, but not alter the gloves. Also, we can work at the human instance, like at the left man to the Spider-Man, right man to the monkey. But previous method, they are instance agnostic, so they add both men to the Iron Man. Also, we can work at the animal instance, like at the left cat to the panda, right and right cat to toy poodle. Previous method just add two into the panda. Yeah. So here is also some quantitative comparison. We achieve the SOTA, both in automatic metric and human evaluation. And our method is most efficient in editing time. Like we edit like one video, we only need 3 minutes, and with minimum memory consumption and RAM consumption. Also, we can we do have some temporal focus. Like some there's always some reviewers said we do not have temporal focus. Actually, we do have, since the positive pair or negative pair select is based on the 4 frames, like 16 frames or 32 frames. But if the positive or negative pair select received field only in the per frame or the first and last frame, the texture is not stable. And our work can also not rely on the same track masks. Like we just use the DDM inverting cluster masks. The layout is very worse, as you can see. We can still achieve good editing results. Also, we can our method can do one edit in one denoising process. But previous method like video P2P, even we edited it 3 times, like give left mask, right mask, and finally the trace mask. It still cannot separate it at the 3 regions. Yeah. Also, I want to show that our VideoGrain can localize concept and act the multi-concept in one denoising process. Here is the video how it works. You can see it. We can localize left mass weight, and localize right mass weight, and localize trace weight, and edit it all the three regions in one denoising process. Yeah. Okay. And so maybe if you want to start a repo, you can check out GitHub and our project page. Yeah. And I also want to talk about the future direction. If someone interesting to this topic, yeah. Like video editing in the future, I think maybe we come to the process to the time focus on the efficiency maybe, and also how to unify understanding and editing. Like we already seen ChatGPT 4o imaging. It can understanding the image and follow user intent to control the editing results. So so what times we so maybe this trend will be transferred to the video region, and we also need to unify, understand, and generation the video. Also, like we instruction-based video editing. And for video generation, I think currently we should focus on like multi-level multi-shot video region, like long content tuning. Like I think this work is very, very good. It can generate multi scenes and make the characters interact in this scenario, like the GPT, the Sora demo scenario, like the Tokyo Street. Yeah. I think this kind of multi-level multi-shot video gene is fine. It's a final version of movie gene, but it also lacks something like audio. Recently, just Veo 3, it do these things like this one. Maybe I can share my. Sorry. I cannot play the sound effect in this video. Can you hear this one?
No.
You cannot hear this one. Sorry. I can you change it?
So when you share your Zoom, you have to enable share audio.
Your audio? Maybe I have to exit and re-enter.
Just stop sharing the screen.
Share the audio.
Let me see
I
it.
do not.
Yep.
This one? Is
You have to stop sharing your Zoom and then then you
okay.
reshare again. But yeah,
Okay. I will share again. Sorry. Maybe.
no,
Okay.
reshare again.
I can share. I can. I see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. This one. So yeah. Like this one. You can hear the sound effects.
You're not sharing your screen right now.
You cannot hear the sound.
You're not sharing your screen right now.
I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I think. This one. Yeah, can you say it?
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah, so it's like this one.
Where were you on the night of the bubble bath?
You can see the sound effects in this video. So
Yes,
I think, yeah. So for the first example, I just want to say that we in the future, I think VideoGrain should focus on the long context like LLM, but it maybe to have some multi-scenario or multi-shot video gene. Also, the final movie gene should be a media. A media should contain video and audio. So how to synchronize to generate and video and with synchronized sound effects, I think is very important. But currently, the academic community do not emphasize this topic. I think maybe future we can enhance this kind of focus. That's all. Yeah. Okay. So my share already finished. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Xiangpeng, for
Yeah.
presenting this work. I know we are running about 5 minutes over time, so yeah, appreciate for staying over a little bit. And yeah, thanks again all the speakers for presenting today. The recording of this webinar session should be available on YouTube probably in the next couple of days. So be sure to share with the speaker here the link to that recording so that they can promote it internally with your co-workers, colleagues, etc. Yeah, overall, I think today's session is very interesting. We're arranging a research right from video editing, video generation to benchmarking about video LLM to yeah, like Multimodal Mamba. I think all these are like very exciting direction that we are looking towards when you think about multimodal AI. And excited to see more work coming up on this domain on this summer. So yeah, appreciate your time today, and hope you have a good rest of your weekend.
Yeah. Have a good weekend. See you.